I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm scared of heights. I can't play the fiddle. And we're anyway getting canceled because today we talk about the strife of Israel and Palestine and anti-Semitism rising across Europe. If you are an ultra-rich auto manufacturer, are you doomed to be an insane conspiracy theorist? Because there seems to be a tendency there.
A lot of people tend to mystify Jewish culture, Jewishness, not necessarily with a negative intent at all.
Most of the governments are more sensitive to anti-Semitism than to racism.
Yeah.
Like you can say a lot against Muslims, but you can't publicly say as much against Jews. And this, I think, causes the competition between these two minorities.
Why does anti-Semitism in these new different forms and guises generally endure and can be used as a political weapon?
Hello and welcome back to Standard Time, the talk show. Here we jump right into the fire of societal questions and we don't shy away from hard topics. I'm your host, Reka Kinga-Pop, and in each episode I'm joined by guests from all over Europe. We release new episodes every second Thursday, so don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button and set 23 to 40 alarms so you never miss an episode. By the way, you can also watch the show or listen to it in a podcast format on Display Europe. And don't forget to turn on the subtitles in one of the 15 languages. The public discourse on Palestine and Israel is extremely tense all across Europe and tinted with local political tropes. Let's make no mistakes, this has been the case for decades, but since the escalation of violence last October, the debate erupted with new fervor and has been really toxic. Now, it would be foolish to suggest that we can do justice to this ongoing conflict in a half-hour talk show. I'm foolish, but not that foolish. What we can do, however, is inspect the underlying reasons why these discussions are so charged and why they seem to really run in circles. People often feel like they are walking on eggshells and can only say the wrong thing. Why is that? Let's be honest. Anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim racism form a double helix across European history. These ideologies have informed the politics of the Christian parts of Europe for over 1,000 years and have always been used to galvanize fragmented polities against a shared enemy, often in the form of a scapegoat. This historical baggage also affects those who try to avoid falling into the trap of hate politics. Today, we look at the older part of this double helix, anti-Semitism, which has taken so many shapes and forms in the past 2,000 years. It has transformed from the Christian propaganda of John Chrysostom, or John the Golden Mouth, who was a prolific hater of the Jews in the 4th century, through the fervent anti-Semitism of the religious reformer Martin Luther, to the political, social, and economic anti-Semitism of the early modern times, into the racial ideology of the 20th century. Gosh, who do we even highlight there? Most of Europe and North America? If you're interested in this historical background, check out the reading list we publish along with the episode, because today we discuss the current state of affairs. And in our next episode, we will deal with anti-Muslim racism. Many of us were taught that after the unprecedented horrors of the Holocaust, Europe has vowed to never again allow for such hate to build up. That has led to this egregious industrialized genocide. Indeed, there have been great efforts to uproot this nasty prejudice, but it never disappeared entirely. In fact, anti-Semitic sentiments are rising in Europe once again, and since this show is an Austrian-Hungarian co-production, we definitely have a lot of baggage to account for. But what is anti-Semitism today? Already choosing a definition can be a political question. According to the Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed towards Jewish or even non-Jewish individuals and or their property, towards Jewish community institutions and religious facilities. Does that mean that one mustn't criticize Israel's government either? That seems to be the position of Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party, but I'm wary of any government claiming that they are one with an entire people. You know, I'm Hungarian.
Hello.
And I'm especially allergic to the use of religion to justify political violence. I was raised Catholic, you see. Don't you give me none of that pouting, Pope Urban II. with your crusade kicking off 2 centuries of pointless massacres, upsetting a region that is still in turmoil today? Get out of here! Bad Pope! Bad Pope! But let's get back to the point. According to the Austrian government's website, criticism of Israel is not anti-Semitic if it's comparable to that level that other states. Now that sounds workable, except when anti-Semitism is on the rise again and hate groups exploit any occasion and any loophole to fearmonger and scapegoat. So, how do we tell criticism and hate apart? And how does one start to get informed on the topic? Let us try and open the door with this conversation with a fantastic set of speakers. Professor Helga Embacher is a historian at the University of Salzburg with a focus on National Socialism, Jewish history, Israel, and anti-Semitism. Johann Kneis has been a journalist since 1980, and in the past few years he's also active in the programming of 2 music festivals in Austria, Glatt und Verkehrt and the newly created festival Jewish Weekends in St. Pölten. Lidia Cesin-Jurek is an assistant professor of Holocaust and Genocide Studies at Stockton University. She's a Polish historian and author currently working in New Jersey. Her research spans the memory of the Holocaust and the Gulag, as well as forced migration and refugee movements in historical and contemporary contexts. Today we are hosted by the Alte Schmiede Kunstverein in Vienna and by the György Sebestyén Austrian Library in Budapest.